Welcome to English Grammar Spot. This tutorial is about the past continuous. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to form a past continuous and when to use a past continuous. But before we get started, it's good to know how to conjugate the verb to be in its past tense. For the singular forms, I was, you were, he was, she was, it was. And for the plural forms, we were, you were, they were. It's also good to know that when I say a vowel, I mean an A, an E, an I, an O, or a U. The consonants are all the other letters in the alphabet. Now let's get started. Take a look at these sentences. I was talking on the phone and we were cooking dinner. Both these sentences are in the past continuous tense. How to form a past continuous? We use the past tense of the verb to be, so either was or were, the base form of the verb and ing. I was working late. You were talking too fast. He was watching television. She was walking to school. It was raining. And for the plural forms, we do the same. We were singing a song. You were doing your homework. They were looking for a hotel. Now we need to pay extra attention to verbs that end in an E, such as take, make and close. These verbs drop their E. For example, I was taking the bus to school. He was making dinner. And they were closing the window. Please note that these verbs no longer have their E. We also need to pay attention to verbs that have one syllable, end in a consonant and are preceded by a vowel, because they double this final consonant. These verbs are verbs such as sit, get, and run. Take a look at the examples. I was sitting outside. You were running fast. It was getting late. We were letting ourselves go. They were swimming in the river. Let's have a look at the past continuous in questions. Again, we use the past simple form of the verb to be, was or were, the base form of the verb and ing. Was I getting close? Were you running late? Was he taking a bus? Was she playing tennis? Was it snowing? And for the plural forms, we do the same. Were we going in the right direction? Were you arriving by ferry? Were they eating their lunch? Now let's have a look at the past continuous in negations. Again, we use the past simple form of the verb to be, so either was or were, but we add not to it, contracting it into wasn't or weren't, the base form of the verb and ing. For example, I wasn't waiting for you. You weren't looking for me. He wasn't sleeping late. She wasn't talking on the phone, and it wasn't freezing. For the plural forms, we weren't putting up a tent, you weren't speaking at the same time, and they weren't cutting paper. Now let's have a look at when to use a past continuous. First, we use the past continuous for a temporary activity in the past. It started in the past and it was finished in the past. I was watching television at that moment. It was raining last night. They were swimming in the river yesterday. We want to emphasize that it was lasting for some time. We also use the past continuous for a temporary activity in the past, interrupted by a short action. This short action is usually expressed by the past simple. I was watching television when he called. It was raining when the car broke down. They were swimming when they saw a crocodile. We also use a past continuous for something that was planned before a certain time in the future. For example, I was flying to Dubai, but his meeting was cancelled. Weren't you meeting her at the airport yesterday? They were going to that concert, but her car broke down. I thank you for your attention. For regular updates, please subscribe to youtube.com/EnglishGrammarSpot or go to www.englishgrammarspot.com.